Well, that's one way to get hyped. I like it. We're here. My name is Dustin Childs. I'm back with PWN2OWN 2021. Austin with love. I will be tossing it to my colleagues in Toronto here very shortly. Our first attempt for today. Very excited. We have Jack Date from Ret2 Systems web browser. On the line is $100,000 and that shiny laptop. So with that, I will throw it over to my colleague Abdul. So Abdul, I'll let you all take it away from here.
Alrighty, Jack, are you ready for this?
Yep, ready as I'll ever be.
Alrighty, Kevin. Are you ready, Kevin? Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So stage 1 is in progress.
Very exciting.
It seems to be working. Still in stage 1. So how long do you think this is going to take?
Between 3 and 4 minutes.
Cool. We have enough time for that.
Yep.
Still working. Still in stage 1. All right, still stage 1. So what should we expect once it pops?
You can expect a calculator, a root shell, and maybe even a little bonus Ret2 surprise.
Nice, all 3 together. All right, that's exciting.
Yeah, I should have added some Jeopardy music to the
exactly.
page.
Yeah. Working. Cool. We're almost on the 3 minutes mark with almost 2 minutes left. I think that should be okay. Okay, I have stage 2 connection right here. And, oh, look at that. Look at that bad boy. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Congratulations. That's a beautiful touch right there.
Thanks.
Awesome. Good job. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing so we can all jump to the other call. Good job.
Cool.
Well, that was exciting. It took a couple minutes, but we have a successful demonstration. So we start PWN2OWN 2021, with a bang. That means a successful Safari demonstration. Now, again, for each one of these attempts, now that it's done, we'll go into the disclosure room, we'll go through all the details with the researcher and disclose that bug to the vendor. Once it's confirmed, I'll post that onto our blog and make sure that it gets updated. But if that's successful, that's $100,000 to him. So congratulations, Jack. That was a great demonstration. And we look forward to your other one later in the contest. Next up, I think is at 11:30. And I believe that's a Microsoft Exchange attempt. So definitely check out the schedule. Stay tuned to the YouTube video or watch us on Twitch or the conference website. Either way you go. We'll see you at 11:30, Microsoft Exchange. Hello everyone, and welcome to PWN2OWN Tokyo for 2020, coming to you this year live from Toronto. My name is Dustin Childs. I'm the communications manager here in the Zero Day Initiative. We have a total of 19 total entries for this year, and it's going to be a really great show. Our team in the Toronto office will run all of the attempts with the contestants connecting remotely. PWN2OWN Tokyo focuses on consumer-oriented devices, and this year is no different. We have 19 entries from 12 teams in the categories of Wi-Fi routers, smart TVs, and the newest category, network-attached storage. As always, the contest started with the drawing to determine the order of attempts. Let's see who's going to start our day. It is going to be Star Labs team, targeting the Netgear Nighthawk on the LAN side. They wasted no time and were able to use a pair of bugs to get their code execution going.
Oh, all right.
Right.
Nice. Well,
Can we take a look at the screen? Yeah, there we go. UID 0 equals root. So that is a successful demonstration. They earned $5,000 and 1 point towards Master of Phone. Next up, the team from Trappist Security targeted the Western Digital MyCloud Pro Series PR4100.
it's pretty fast, I guess.
Yeah.
Good job.
This was the first time a NAS server has been targeted at a PWN2OWN event. The team didn't disappoint, as they used an authorization bypass and a command injection bug to take over the server. This demonstration earned them $20,000 and 2 points towards Master of Phone. So what drew you to the contest, and what kind of made you say, let's try this PWN2OWN thing?
PWN2OWN is a really big contest for hackers, and it was really nice to have a chance to participate in PWN2OWN. And this year we try to start from a simple target like the NAS or the router. It's much easier. Yeah. So we want to try how will it be in the PWN2OWN, and just choose some easy targets.
So what do you think so far? Do you think maybe you'll try to do some PWN2OWN stuff in the future?
Maybe next year we'll try like some browsers, but who knows?
PWN2OWN veterans Team Flashback were our next competitors. They were targeting the WAN interface of the Netgear Nighthawk R7800 router.
I see something here.
Okay, what do you see?
I see root, my friend.
Yeah! Flashback did it again.
Not only did they use a 2-bug chain to compromise the router, they were able to leave a backdoor in the router that would persist even after a factory reset. This demonstration earned them $20,000 and 2 points towards Master of Phone. But how long did it take you to develop the exploit that you use today to win?
Well, I think it took us around 2 to 3 days to find, and maybe a couple of days more to really package it in a very reliable exploit. So I know we cannot reveal any details, unfortunately, but the exploit is quite cool. So one of the things is that it installs a permanent backdoor and it survives a factory reset. You can factory reset your router all you want, but our backdoor is not going anywhere.
So let me be very clear on that, because that's cool. So it survives a factory reset, not just a power cycle?
Factory reset. You got a factory reset. You can try to factory reset the router, but you're not going to delete our exploit. Basically, the only way to delete our exploit is the way we know, and we can replace it with another exploit.
Next up, PWN newcomer 84C0 successfully demonstrated code execution against the Western Digital NAS.
There you go. Good job. Perfect.
Oh, look at that.
Flawless.
New ID of root.
Great.
Done.
Unfortunately, the bug he used had been previously reported. This still counts as a partial win, but he did not receive any points towards Master of PWN. The team from Black Coffee was next on the schedule. Unfortunately, they couldn't get their exploit to work within the allotted time frame.
That failed.
Unexpected.
The team in Toronto coordinated with the contestants as best as they could, including swapping hardware in the middle of the attempt. I'm sure we'll see some great research from them in the future. The first television targeted in this year's contest was the Samsung Q60T. The Vitel cybersecurity team was able to get a reverse shell on a fully patched device.
Okay. That was super fast. Good job.
However, the bug they used had been previously known. This still counts as a partial win and nets them 1 point towards Master of PWN. The final demonstration for day 1 saw the Trappist security team return, this time targeting the LAN interface of the Netgear Nighthawk router.
Yes. Oh. Right. Good job. Excellent job.
All right, that's a success. Successful demonstration. Oh, look at that. Their command injection bug was successful, and their exploit earned them another $5,000 and 1 more point towards Master of PWN. That wraps up the first day of PWN2OWN Tokyo live from Toronto for 2020. We awarded $50,000 today for 7 unique bugs across 4 products. With their 2 successful attempts, the Trappist security team is currently in the lead for Master of PWN, which is the overall winner of PWN2OWN. However, Team Flashback is right on their heels. A lot of different exploits go on today, so Brian, welcome. And what were your initial thoughts of day 1?
Yeah, so I thought today was a great day. You know, the first time we've gone through the whole streaming process with this, and to get really every flavor of PWN2OWN to come through the stream. We had 4 successful entries, we had 2 partial entries, and we had actually 1 failure. And so people who were watching the stream most of the day were actually able to see kind of all the different kind of things that happen within PWN2OWN. You know, whether the contestant is going to win real quickly with a 0 day, or whether they were going to win real quickly and possibly have a duplicate during the disclosure process that would disqualify them from being a full win. Sometimes, you know, they would leverage a previously known vulnerability that would result in a partial win. And to actually have a failure on day 1, though it's sad for the Black Coffee team to have a failure, you know, it's for the people on the stream who are watching the event, it's, you know, who may not have experienced PWN2OWN before. I mean, you can kind of feel the tension, you can understand that maybe the disappointment of the contestant who is participating in the contest, and also, you know, understand that maybe the bug was patched out, or, you know, something happened that would put them at a disadvantage. So, you know, kind of fun to see across the board, you know, and hopefully Black Coffee will come back in a future event like they did. One of their members is actually part of the winning team at PWN2OWN Miami this year, so I'm sure they'll be back in the future.
What are we looking forward to over the next couple days?
The WAN exploits to me are always kind of the sexiest router exploits that are out there. And Team Flashback, just from their history at PWN2OWN and how dynamic that team is, you know it's going to be an amazing exploit. You know, I'm also looking forward to, you know, the Sony television hack as well, and the Synology device. You know, I think, you know, these are new entries into the PWN2OWN contest. We are, you know, we're looking forward to see what comes from those, and, you know, I think the vendor will be on site for us to disclose to them. So I think it's, you know, we're excited to have this new category. You know, it seems to be going quite well for us this year, and we'll see how it wraps up for the whole contest.
Join us tomorrow as we begin at 10 a.m. Eastern, and follow us on our stream at Twitch and on YouTube. And of course, always look us up on Twitter. We'll see you then. Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of PWN2OWN Tokyo, coming to you live from Toronto. My name is Dustin Childs. I am with the Zero Day Initiative, sitting in our Mid-South headquarters, my house, as I'm remote, as most of us are these days. But we've got a great day of PWN2OWN action for you. Today we have 7 more attempts across various products. We're going to get started at 10 a.m. Eastern with Team Flashback. Today they're going to try and attack the WAN interface on the TP-Link AC1750. That's how we kick off. We'll see how that goes. This time, they used a 3-bug chain to get arbitrary code execution on the TP-Link AC1750.
Uh-oh.
Awesome.
I think they did it. That's a good-looking shell right there. That looks like a successful demonstration. Their effort earned them another $20,000, which brings their 2-day total to $40,000. That also puts them in the lead for Master of PWN with 4 total points. So what are your plans for the rest of the day, Nick? Because you're done for the contest, right?
So the rest of the day will be chilling and watching the other participants taking their attempts, and basically watching the results, how many points other people will get, and having fun.
So we'll see how it goes for the rest of the day. What do you think of the trophy?
It's nice. It's very nice. But actually, can you show it more in the camera? I didn't see it properly.
Sure. Look at that.
Oh,
yeah, beautiful.
I think
beautiful.
Be more beautiful
It's
with
pretty
our
cool.
team name engraved there.
Next up, Team Bugscale targeted the Western Digital MyCloud Pro Series PR4100 NAS server.
Good job.
That was super quick. While they were able to successfully exploit the NAS, the bugs they used had previously been reported during the contest. This does count as a partial win, but no Master of PWN points were awarded. Our next contestant was 84C0, who returned to target the LAN interface of the Netgear Nighthawk R7800 router.
There you go.
As a reminder, every attempt has a 5-minute time period.
Yeah.
I can go with it. Hey, there we go. Success. He used 3 different bugs to get a root shell on the device. However, one of these 3 bugs had been previously submitted. This does count as a partial win, with 84C0 earning $4,000 and half a point towards Master of PWN. PWN2OWN veterans F-Secure Labs targeted the Samsung Q60TE television and wasted no time in getting a reverse shell on the fully patched Smart TV.
Good job.
Nice.
Nice, congratulations. Woohoo! However, the bug they used was publicly known, which means this is another partial win. They do earn 1 point towards Master of PWN for their efforts. I'm happy to be joined by Mike Gibson, who is the Vice President for Trend Micro Research. Mike, are you with us? How are you doing?
Hey, Dustin. Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Great. So happy to have you. Nice looking shirt I see you got on there.
Yeah, I got to represent, right? Yeah.
Exactly. How have you seen PWN2OWN evolve just in the last really 3 years?
Oh, it's a lot, right? So, I mean, the biggest and obvious thing was our expansion into, partnering with S4 and doing the PWN2OWN Miami contest for the first time earlier this year. I think that was great to see. Great to see us bring some new targets to the competition. Obviously, we've got customers that play in that space that are interested in the intelligence we get from there, and also just seeing improvements in the products that our partner vendors were bringing to that contest, and seeing them improve the quality and fix some of these bugs, I think was great.
Yeah. So you say you've been following along. Any highlights so far from this year?
I don't know if I consider this one a highlight or a lowlight, but the scary thing is how many of these targets I have in my own home.
Sam Thomas of Pentest Ltd. followed with an exploit chain targeting the Western Digital MyCloud Pro Series PR4100 NAS.
You made it look very easy. Done.
Yeah, it's too easy.
That was a little too easy.
Yeah.
We're so easy we forgot to cue the confetti. There we go. Look at that. He was able to gain arbitrary code execution through a combination of 2 bugs. However, one of these bugs had previously been submitted earlier in the contest. This results in another partial win, as Sam earns $10,000 and 1 Master of PWN point. I'm very pleased to be joined by Brian Mastenbrook from Western Digital. He is the Senior Director of Product Security Engineering. So how's the contest been going for you so far?
It's been going great. We're really excited to take part in the contest, and I want to thank ZDI and Trend Micro for putting all of this together and getting this kicked off relatively flawlessly, despite the challenges of doing it in a streaming format this year. It's been a lot of fun so far.
When you first heard a Western Digital product was going to be included in Pwn2Own, what were your thoughts? Were you apprehensive, or what was going on there?
I think we're very excited actually to hear about that. Western Digital is investing very heavily in the security of our products. We really believe in keeping our products secure in order to keep our customers' data secure and private to them. And contests like this are a great opportunity for us to participate and demonstrate our approach to product security, to demonstrate our approach to transparency and product security.
So I'm curious though, were you aware of the Pwn2Own contest before this particular iteration of it?
Oh, absolutely. I've followed along in years past, and I was happy to see that ZDI has decided to expand it to start including some of these new categories. Things like home NAS devices, home routers, smart TVs, and other home consumer electronics and IoT devices are a big part of the security landscape these days. And at Western Digital, we believe that all users should have security in their data, they should have privacy in their data, and contests like this are a great opportunity for us to engage with the security research community in a transparent way to help improve the security of this class of device.
In the penultimate attempt of Day 2, the team from Synactive used a trio of unique bugs to get a root shell via the LAN interface of the TP-Link AC1750 smart Wi-Fi router.
There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
They also gave some style points by having the router's lights flash on and off, quite a showy display. The successful entry earned them $5,000 and 1 point towards Master of Pwn. The final entry of Day 2 was filled with drama, as the DevCore team targeted the Synology DiskStation DS418 Play NAS. Their first attempt failed, and their second try needed more than 3.5 minutes before their elegant heap overflow provided them with root access to the server. 90 seconds left.
Yeah, we got it.
All right.
Yeah, man.
I'm guessing by the applause and positive affirmations there that we have got a successful entry.
Up, dude.
Their effort earns them $20,000 and 2 points towards Master of Pwn. That brings Day 2 to a close. In all, we awarded $59,000 for 10 bugs across 5 devices.
Yeah, I mean, another exciting day here at Pwn2Own. I mean, when you start off with a WAN exploit against a home router, that's always quite interesting. Team Flashback really brought the goods on that one. And then across the board, you saw all sorts of stuff happen in the contest. You had a full collision where every single bug in the chain was actually previously known. We had partial collisions where 2 out of the 3 bugs used in the chain were unknown at the time. We had somebody try to use an NDA at Pwn2Own, and then we ended off with 2 really nice successful wins. One from Synactive, where they had a 3-bug chain that actually caused the lights on the router to blink in a funny way, and then DevCore bringing some really elegant heap overflows to the contest.
There's stuff tomorrow. Any predictions there?
I don't know. It'll be quite interesting. I mean, I think we'll see. I mean, like I said, it's going to start off with a bang there with DevCore going after Western Digital. And I think, we'll see a lot of these individuals are new to Pwn2Own. So I'm hoping for a lot of success tomorrow. I mean, obviously, we want to spend all of the money we have allocated for Pwn2Own at the contest. And so we hope that everybody has successful entries and allows us to, kill some of the bugs that are out there. We can get some patches released and protect against the exploitation of these bugs.
Our contest closes out tomorrow with 5 additional attempts, and will crown Master of Pwn as the overall winner of the competition. It's currently a tight race, and the first entry of Day 3 should be decisive. It's shaping up to be an exciting finale of Pwn2Own Tokyo, live from Toronto. We'll see you then. Hi everyone, and welcome to Day 3 of Pwn2Own Tokyo, live from Toronto. I am Dustin Childs with the Zero Day Initiative, and we are at our final day of the contest. So far, we've had 2 great days of pwnage. In total, we've awarded $99,000 for 17 bugs. We've had 2 great days, but we're shaping up to have a great final day as well. Right now, Team Flashback is in the lead for Master of Pwn, but DevCore has a chance to tie them with the first attempt of our 3rd day, which has them targeting the Western Digital MyCloud Pro NAS series.
Could you run the ID? Maybe the shell is here.
So we may have results pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
Yeah, very quickly.
That was pretty fast.
They used a 6-bug chain to get their root shell. However, 2 of these bugs had previously been reported. That makes this a partial win. They still earned $17,500 and 1.5 points towards Master of Pwn. Next up, Team Bugscale targeted the LAN interface of the Netgear Nighthawk R7800 router.
Yeah, sorry about that. It didn't work.
Unfortunately, they could not get their exploit to work within the time allotted.
Let's talk about it in the disclosure room, right, guys?
Joining me right now is Corey Ford, who is the Senior Manager of Threat Research with Trend Micro. Corey, hopefully you can hear me now.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. I can hear you. Good to, hopefully I don't have my mute button on.
Explain to me what your role is in Pwn2Own.
So I actually manage the team that takes the excellent research that all of the submitters have done and converts that into tipping point filters. So we actually take that and put it into actionable protection for the customers.
So what's the process like for that? What's the process for creating a filter?
All right, so it's actually within Pwn2Own pretty easy because of all the great researchers, right? They come in here with exact knowledge of how their vulnerabilities and bugs work. So all we have to do is take their great research and convert that into a filter or a signature. They go to the disclosure room. None of y'all are able to see that.
Right.
And we sit around and we have discussions. They explain the vulnerability. We ask questions, and then we write up some guidance for that and send that off to our team, which when we're remote is luckily us. So we get to do all of the speaking and understanding and the writing of the rule. But normally, when it's back to normal, we'll be sending it back to our teams for filter writing.
What are some of your favorite memories from previous contests?
Pwn2Own Tokyo is always my favorite, and that's just me being biased because Tokyo is amazing. It's probably the best city I've ever been to.
It's an amazing city, to be sure.
Yeah, the food is out of this world. It's probably the thing I hate. The thing that I hate most about being remote is missing Pwn2Own Tokyo.
Pwn2Own newcomer Guarif Barua targeted the Western Digital MyCloud Pro Series PR4100.
So basically we got the root shell, so it's...
Okay, so we do have a root shell. That's a very positive sign. It's good. Oh, there we go.
Good job.
He was able to demonstrate getting a root shell on the device. However, the bug he used had been previously reported during the contest. He still earns 1 point towards Master of Pwn. The Vitel cybersecurity team returned for their second attempt at the contest. This time, the Sony X800 Smart TV was their focus. That looks to be the bug extraction crew ready to come out and run this attempt. Okay, the attempt has started. Our bug extraction team is there.
Successful?
Yeah. They were able to read sensitive files from a fully patched device. However, the bug they used was publicly known. This partial win does result in 1 point towards Master of Pwn. In the final entry of the contest, the Star Labs team returned to target the Synology Disk Station DS418 Play NAS.
It seems to be working fine, at least from what I'm seeing. It's a successful demonstration.
Oh yeah, that is. Why don't you look at that? They combined a race condition and an out-of-bounds read to get a root shell on the device. This successful demonstration earned them $20,000 and 2 points towards Master of Pwn. And thus ends another exciting Pwn2Own event. After tabulating all of the points, the team flashback duo of Pedro Barro and Radek Domyansky came out on top and were crowned Master of Pwn. Congratulations to the 2 researchers. So, gentlemen, congratulations on your first Master of Pwn win. How are you feeling? I'm seeing double. That's better. Now, again, congratulations on your first Master of Pwn victory. How are you guys feeling?
Well, amazing. I mean, it was exactly 1 year we participated in our first Pwn2Own, so Tokyo last year. So in the meantime, we participated in Miami, and now this one. And our goal was always to get Master of Pwn, obviously, right? But we never expected it to happen in 1 year. I mean, in one calendar year. So I mean, it's fantastic, really. I mean,
so last year, PWN2OWN Tokyo that was your first PWN2OWN.
Yeah, so last year we started with PWN2OWN Tokyo, where it was on-site competition. It was our first one, so it was very cool to see how everything works. And after that, you guys announced Miami, and we said, yeah, it's a bit different. Let's give it a try. It's completely different targets. And there, we were leading for 2 full days, and then we've learned that there are so many unexpected results and course of actions in a day that it's really so unpredictable how the day will go. 2 of our bugs were knocked out before the competition. We had 1 more also on top of that, which we couldn't use in the competition. But yeah, lucky for us, we made it to the top at the end of the day.
Yeah, I was going to ask the kind of emotions that you guys went through when those last-minute patches came out. I mean, and some of the attempts maybe had been patched out. So I was wondering what you were thinking, the processes that you went through there to adjust what you had submitted to the contest.
I mean, you can imagine initial shock, rage, sadness, everything, right? But once we got over it. We tried to look for alternative bugs, but the problem is that this was like five days, the first one, and then the other one dropped 1 day before the competition. And the thing is, we spent a lot of time in this. We spent, I don't know, Radek, 3 months? So by the time that these patches rolled out, we were so exhausted that it was very hard for us to keep looking. But we did try. I mean, we didn't give up, of course.
Are you going to retire now and go out on top, or are you going to defend the title?
We're going to go out guns blazing, Dustin. We're going to keep phoning, So
go ahead.
This is our goal. Like I said from the beginning, was our goal.
Well, guys, congratulations again. I don't know who of the 2 of you will get this spectacular trophy. I know I'm jealous of whoever gets to keep it. But definitely let me know the address, and we'll get that shipped out shortly. And make sure that you get some fresh T-shirts too that say PWN2OWN Tokyo live from Toronto to commemorate your win as Master of Pwn. And that wraps up another fantastic PWN2OWN Tokyo. For the entire competition, we awarded $136,500 for 23 unique bugs across 6 different devices. So, Brian, Abdul, how are you guys? How are you feeling at the end of the contest?
I'm exhausted, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same way. And I didn't do anything. I just sat here.
Yeah, Abdul, why don't you go ahead, from your perspective, especially there with hands on the keyboard, how do you think everything went?
I mean, it went, to be honest, it went great. It was super smooth from our side, although we've had a couple of challenges when it comes to a couple of things. Things have been a little bit different this year since basically this is the first time we run PWN2OWN from an actual Trend Micro office. That made some things, that made some things easier for us, like shipping the gear, setting up internet connection, everything. We have that under control, so that made things way easier for us from that perspective. But we definitely had some challenges because at PWN2OWN we don't have to deal with video, we don't have to deal with the researchers setup when it comes to basically having they basically come in, put their laptops, run their exploits, and it's all done. But in this case, we had to basically kind of go over the dependencies, and some of these exploits did have some crazy dependencies. Not that crazy, but some of them did have some dependencies that we had to deal with, last minute and stuff like that. But in general, I think it was a great event. It was super smooth.
It's been a learning experience for us, and we hope that people on the stream really enjoyed it. I thought the team here at Trend did an excellent job putting this together. It's It's been a very fun event. And, for me, even though I'm virtual and I'm sitting here in Austin and you're in Tennessee, we got our production team in Ireland. We're streaming things to Vancouver. We got, our team in Toronto dealing with all this stuff. I mean, it's quite a cosmic event, and I'm just as tired as I am doing a physical event in Tokyo. So it's I'm honestly glad that it's over, but I'm also glad that it was a huge success. I mean, we saw basically every flavor of attempt. We had a lot of different, I think it's our biggest Pwn2Own Tokyo ever from a participation perspective. So not only did we, I think exceed the expectations for the conference this year, but I think it's also, put us to, really think about how we're going to approach Pwn2Own in the future. We know that the streaming thing can be successful, and we want to look at how we can make it more interactive for people, and we'll be looking for feedback on that from the community.
We'd love to get your feedback. Tweet me either at Dustin_Childs or tweet at the ZDI. Give us your feedback and let us know, did you enjoy it? Are you going to go back and watch it later, or, hit some of the highlights off YouTube or whatever? Whatever feedback you can provide us, that'll be great, because we'd like to take that forward to the next competition. If the next competition is virtual, if it's physical, probably a combination of the two, quite frankly, moving forward. And that's kind of the way we've started almost envisioning things. Like, wouldn't it be great if we could stream this live from Vancouver as we're doing all this stuff too, and have everyone watch that? So that'd be great.
So I just wanted to say thanks to all the sponsors. Facebook this year came out and sponsored the conference, brought Oculus and Portal to the target list. We're looking to, hopefully have people show up and target those solutions in the future. Sometimes it takes a couple years for researchers to start and understand the attack surfaces on those devices. And, and for the vendors that showed up to participate in the disclosure room, Western Digital, Synology, I think the conversations between the researchers and the CDI the guys running the show there, Abdul in Toronto, I think the conversations were really good. I think we've got a lot of great bugs that have ended up in their hands now to fix. And so, I'd like to thank them as well for participating at the event.
I want to say special thanks to everyone involved, especially the participating researchers and vendors who make this contest possible. Our next event will be Pwn2Own Vancouver in March of 2021. We hope to see you there.
In 2020, the Trend Micro Zero-Day Initiative program published 1,453 vulnerability advisories, a 40% increase from 2019. Among these, high and critical severity flaws saw a spike in numbers as well. As discovered vulnerabilities increase, threat actors also devise more ways to exploit these. How are vulnerabilities abused by cybercriminals at present? Targeted attacks are one of the most menacing ways that cybercriminals undertake such abuse. Through our constant monitoring efforts at Trend Micro Research, we have uncovered major targeted attacks that abuse flaws to infiltrate a system. Recently, we spotted Operation Earth Kitsune, an attack that used Google Chrome and Internet Explorer vulnerabilities to conduct a watering hole campaign through compromised North Korean websites. Another is Operation Poison News, where we discovered that threat actors took advantage of an end-day proof-of-concept code and several privilege escalation bugs released by Google's Project Zero to target users in Hong Kong. We also spotted a campaign linked to the Sidewinder APT group. Aside from learning that this scheme uses 3 apps, we also demonstrated how one of them exploits a bug in Binder in Android. Vulnerabilities beyond the usual domains are also growing, and we, at Trend Micro Research, keep an eye on these as well. In particular, we analyzed at-risk areas in the industrial Internet of Things space. In one of our papers, we explored several attack vectors that could be used by threat actors to launch unconventional attacks on smart manufacturing systems. In a separate research, we deployed an elaborate honeypot to observe attacks that can affect unsecured manufacturing environments. We also identified exploitable flaws in widely used industrial automation machines and showed how an attacker can control the movements of a robot by altering its automation script. Additionally, we demonstrated how the IoT protocols MQTT and CoAP are affected by design and implementation vulnerabilities that allow attackers to disrupt systems that use these protocols. For cloud security, we analyzed weak points in serverless architectures to discover possible compromise and attack scenarios in these environments. Indeed, cybercriminals remain persistent in abusing every exploitable weakness. Together with our ZDI program, we continue our efforts to protect systems from nefarious schemes. To learn more about our research, visit the official website of Trend Micro Research.
Hi, my name is Nathan Crandall, and I manage the product security team at Tesla. So me and the team work within the engineering organizations at Tesla to help architect, design, and develop secure products. So this includes everything from hardware and firmware all the way to our cloud services and infrastructure.
So what are your thoughts on the Pwn2Own contest?
I've been a fan of Pwn2Own since I started going to CanSec West in 2013. And so 7 years later, it's really cool to see how the contest has grown into 3 separate contests. You have mobile Pwn2Own, then you have the flagship Pwn2Own contest in Vancouver, and then you have now ICS Pwn2Own. So, and also the expanded list of targets, everything in between. I mean, who would have thought that a car would be on the list back when the event was created? I mean, I definitely didn't think about that in 2013. It's been great to directly be a part of a contest that I've held in such high regard for over the past several years. So thanks to Trend Micro and ZDI for working with us.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been a great partner since you came on, and it really has, the contest really has expanded over the years, even beyond what we expected to. I know you've had a chance to take a look at all of the targets in this year's contest, especially outside of the automotive category. Do any of the targets for this year really stand out to you?
Yeah, so I mean, I obviously have a biased answer of Tesla, but I guess first off, I'm keeping a close eye on the Chrome and Ubuntu desktop categories. I definitely find findings in there super interesting. But I'm most excited to see what comes out of the newly added enterprise communications category, which includes Zoom and Teams. Those have become even more major part of our lives over the past crazy year we've had due to COVID and working from home. So anything found in there will have a major impact on almost everyone. So those are some really new, exciting targets.
Is there a target or a category that you really hope to see exploited? Would it be that enterprise communications category, or is it something different?
So yeah, in addition to the enterprise communications category, it sounds like research is starting to pick up on Hyper-V, and that would be really cool to see fall. Microsoft has done awesome work securing their virtualization platforms, and even though that Hyper-V has been at Pwn2Own for several years now, it's withstood the test of time. So to finally see a first successful attempt against Hyper-V would be really, really cool, and like most likely a novel entry and exploit.
Yeah, that would be great. We've had it on the program list for a couple of years and haven't seen it fall yet. Hopefully we'll see that this year. So why did Tesla decide to partner with ZDI for Pwn2Own this year?
Well, first off, to see some epic hacks, but I guess to give some context, this is now our 3rd iteration of Pwn2Own. We started doing it in 2019 in Vancouver, and then last year, due to COVID, the competition kind of got ruined because of all the last-minute craziness due to the contest taking place in March and then everything shutting down in March. So we really want to come back and do another, a 3rd round, and see what researchers come up with. We really want to see more automotive research out of the community, and this is a great way to promote that ideal. And we'd also love to see other automotive companies enter the contest in the future, and we believe being here sets a good example for other automotive security programs.
That kind of leads me to our next question: is what all does Tesla gain from participating in Pwn2Own?
So Pwn2Own gives us a platform to access some of the best security researchers in the world and have them take a go against our products. The first year we only saw 1 entry against the Chrome renderer. So we hope as the years go on, we'll see more entries and more advanced and exciting hacks. Iterating off of these findings will help push security forward on both our products and vehicles. So it's a great symbiotic relationship.
And I know participating as Pwn2Own is just one thing that you do to engage with independent security researchers. What are some other things that Tesla does to engage with researchers around the world?
So we have a bug bounty program that's managed via BugCrowd. It's the longest running automotive bug bounty program, and it's allowed us to directly connect with great researchers, like you said, around the world, who can hunt for bugs in all flavors of our products, including the ones that are not part of Pwn2Own or within scope. So there's a much wider offering. And as well as our various apps and websites. And you can see what's in scope via our bug bounty program on BugCrowd.
And I guess it finally leads me to our last question about researchers is, if you could tell something to every researcher out there, what would your message be to all these researchers? So what would you like to tell everyone?
We're hiring.
That's nice.
So we're always on the lookout for talented individuals that are passionate about security, our products, and our company's core mission, which is to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy. Beyond that, I'd like to especially thank all the researchers who have worked with us in the past, as they have helped drive security forward for our products and services.
Cool. Well, thank you, Nathan. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing what happens throughout the contest, and I'm sure I'll talk to you next week at some point.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks a lot, Dustin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to PWN2OWN 2021. I am Dustin Childs, Communications Director with the Zero Day Initiative, bringing you back now for our second attempt. If you didn't hear, our first attempt was successful. We confirmed it. Congratulations to Jack Dates, who won $100,000 for a successful exploit of Apple Safari. Next up, the DevCore team will be targeting Microsoft Exchange. On the line is $200,000 and 20 Master of Pwn points, so it should be a very exciting attempt. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. We won't be able to show everything due to some sensitivity of what's being actually exploited, but 20 points goes a long way to getting that trophy in Master of Pwn. With that, I'll hand it off to Abdul and our team in Toronto at various locations, and let them go ahead and run the exploit. Abdul, over to you.
Alrighty. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Kevin, can you show the screen? Basically, okay, perfect. It's up there. All right, you can take off. You can stop sharing the screen. KP, can you switch to the attacker VM, please?
Okay.
Alrighty. Kevin.
You go. Just. Abdul, you're...
Yes, Kevin, can you start the timer, please? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just as a reminder, every contestant has 3 attempts. Each attempt is 5 minutes long.
Okay, we have some movement over here.
Our first attempt this morning took a few minutes. This one looks like it'll take less time.
We have some requests. There you go.
3个，现在来第1个了，然后这边11个5秒。5秒了吧？他没有 delete state 啦。没关系，还是可以，应该还是可以继续这样子。
那会有关系？
它会一个 state 里面1就 sleep 16秒，所以它中间还 sleep 那么久。
所以还是可以跑过。
对，还是可以跑过的。所以就。好，最后一个了。
So should this attempt
seems to be working.
Yeah, seems working.
Let's wait.
If this attempt should fail, he does have 2 more times to try to get the exploit running within the 20-minute time period total. And I believe if we have a successful attempt, then we'll be able to see the screen after the exploit has run.
Yeah, just a second. I will remove the.
Yeah, just make sure you also maximize the VM.
Maximize the VM you're saying, or you want to?
Oh, look at that system! Wow, that's awesome.
Oh.
What do you want to call this? Orange boss logon? What do you want to call it?
I think we have a success.
72 is good.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, can you just maximize the VM?
Maximize.
So we'll take a look at the VM now. I think I heard system level access.
The Zoom share thing on the top of it's not going.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's fine. Are you guys ready to let's show it? Kevin, can you show it online, please? Oh, this is bad. This is
Who am I
dangerous.
anti-authority system? That's nice. That sounds that smells
Right.
very much like a very successful
Congratulations,
attempt.
this is nice.
So congratulations,
Good job.
guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
So as always, they are now going to go to the disclosure room. They'll take a look at the details of that exploit. We'll confirm it with Microsoft, make sure that they're not aware of it, make sure that we're not aware of it. It is a 0-day contest. Therefore, all entries must be true 0 days. Coming up in the next attempt will be around 1 o'clock local time. You can check our blog. We did get that full schedule published. Also, stay tuned to the video. We've got more videos coming, more interviews coming. Next up with some researchers. So I believe that starts maybe at about an hour or so. Definitely check the schedule for that and follow us on Twitter. Give you all the updates there. So with that, congratulations to the DevCore team, off to the disclosure room, and we'll see you next time. Hello everyone, welcome to PWN2OWN 2020. I'm Dustin Childs with the Zero Day Initiative, and today I'm coming to you from our Mid-South headquarters, also known as my home office. With the COVID-19 coronavirus affecting so many people and so many different institutions, this year's competition will be held completely virtually. So we have contestants and ZDI researchers all around the world, and they will come together on a video call for each attempt. Everyone participating has already sent in their exploits to us. So when the time comes, the ZDI researcher will run the exploit with the contestant watching online. So for this year's contest, we have 6 different groups set to run 7 different attempts, 4 today and 3 tomorrow. As a special treat, at the end of day 2, ZDI's Lucas Long will be demonstrating his own exploit against Oracle VirtualBox. So that'll be at the end of day 2, so be sure to stay to tune in for that as well. Our day began with some PWN2OWN newcomers, a team from the Georgia Tech System Software and Security Lab. They were targeting the Apple Safari web browser with a macOS kernel escalation of privilege.
All right, I'm gonna launch Safari now.
You nervous?
Yeah.
I know.
They chained together a total of 6 unique bugs, starting with the JIT vulnerability and ending with the Toctile race condition to escape the sandbox and pop a root shell.
Nice.
It will spawn the kernel shell too. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Look at that.
Nice.
All right. Nice, guys.
Their smooth demonstration earned them $70,000 and 7 points towards Master of PWN.
I think it's a kind of dream, right? Like for participating in PWN2OWN. We feel like it is kind of like a festival for hackers. Like we can meet like some other famous hackers, and we want to talk with them, and we want to discuss with you guys. Maybe we can have beer. Thank you. We really enjoy this, and we are really, happy to achieve our old dream to participate in PWN2OWN. Yeah, we really love it.
Next up, PWN2OWN veteran Fluorescence set his sights on Microsoft Windows 10. Surprising absolutely no one, he used a use after free bug in Windows to escalate privileges from a regular user to administrator.
Right, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, what a pop! There we go.
Nice.
Very nice, yay!
This slick demonstration earned him $40,000 and 4 points towards Master of PWN.
I'm really happy that PWN2OWN is able to take place even in these crazy circumstances.
So what made you decide to go after an LPE in Windows 10?
I think that Windows is a target that I like doing. So yeah, it's personal preference.
Our third attempt of the day saw another PWN2OWN rookie take the field. Manfred Paul of the Red Rocket CTF team chose to target the Ubuntu desktop with a local privilege escalation exploit.
All right, starting the clock. Woo! All right.
Nice.
Look at that.
Nice.
Congratulations.
He leveraged an improper input validation bug to go from a standard user to root.
Nice work.
Nice and clean.
So clean.
His first foray into the world of PWN2OWN earned him $30,000 and 3 points towards Master of PWN. What was it that led you to decide to participate in PWN2OWN?
Well, basically I had this bug and I didn't know what else to do with it. I didn't initially plan on participating, but now that remote participation was possible, it was basically a very easy decision to make. I really hope to participate and be able to find new bugs.
The first day of PWN2OWN 2020 ended with the returning fluoroacetate duo of Amat Kama and Richard Zhu ready to defend their Master of PWN crown.
Yep, ready. Good. All right.
They leveraged a UAF in Windows to escalate from a regular user to system. And yes, this was a different UAF than the one used earlier in the day.
Boom.
Yay! Yay!
This final entry of day 1 earned them $40,000 and 4 points towards Master of PWN.
I'm going to add like a 5-minute sleep before.
Don't do that. Yeah. Just to make it more dramatic, right?
That wraps up the first day of PWN2OWN 2020. Even when we're physically separated by thousands of miles, we're brought together by some great research and exploit demonstrations. Join us tomorrow for our second and final day of the contest. As with today, we'll be tweeting and updating the blog with results as they occur. I'll see you then. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Day 2 of PWN2OWN 2020. I'm Dustin Childs of the Zero Day Initiative. We have 3 attempts and 1 special demonstration on the schedule today, plus we have to crown a Master of PWN. Let's get to it. Our day began with returning PWN2OWN veteran Fifam Hong of Star Labs targeting Oracle VirtualBox.
All right, let's run it. Ready? Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
It took all 3 attempts for a successful demonstration, but his 3rd attempt did work like a charm.
There you go. There we go.
Nice.
All right.
Gosh.
Ah, man. So much drama.
He combined an info leak and an uninitialized variable to execute code on the host operating system from the guest.
Making dramatic in the.
This earned him $40,000 and 4 points towards Master of PWN.
I have to say that I am a bit afraid that the exploit will not work in the first 2 attempts, but finally it's worked. So I'm happy now.
Did you have concerns about the ZDI people running it for you?
Actually, I don't see any problem here, but if I can reset in the profile and see, I can make it faster.
Next up, the fluoroacetate duo returned for their 2nd event of the competition.
All right. Let me know when you're ready, Abdul. Ready. Wait.
This time, they had their sights set on Adobe Reader. In one of the most impressive displays of the competition, they leveraged used after free bugs in Reader and the Windows kernel to escalate the system. All it took was opening a PDF file and the entire system was compromised.
Nice. Wow.
Wow. Very good.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Very nice.
Good job.
This impressive display earned them $50,000 and 5 more points towards Master of PWN.
Waiting for the command shell to pop is just...
That's a little nerve-wracking,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, very nerve-wracking. It's always those moments in PWN2OWN that you never forget.
In the final official entry of PWN2OWN 2020, the Synactive team targeted the VMware workstation with the guest-to-host escape.
Come on. Ah! You're done for.
All right.
Unfortunately, they couldn't successfully demonstrate their exploit in the allotted time. However, upon disclosure, we did find the bug to be valid and purchased it through the regular ZDI program. We hope to see more from these researchers in the future. For a special bonus, ZDI's own Lucas Leong demonstrated a guest-to-host escape in Oracle VirtualBox. He leveraged an OOV read for an info leak and a use-after-free bug for code execution. You can watch a video of the demonstration over on our YouTube channel. And that allows us to award our Master of PWN. It was a tighter race than previous years, but Richard Zhu and Amat Kama of fluoroacetate were again crowned the Master of PWN. Congratulations, we look forward to seeing more of you in the future.
Amazing feeling. When we first started out, we never could have imagined that we could get Master of PWN, so it's a big honor.
That's great. Talk me through your last exploit a little bit. So that's kind of a scary one from like especially consumer perspective, because you open a PDF and it takes over your entire system, right?
Yes, and everybody uses Adobe PDF Reader, basically.
Right.
This type of attack has serious consequences. And especially since the attack also happens so quickly, like you cannot react to it. Adobe Reader, it's used by so many people, so many companies, and that makes them all vulnerable to potential exploits, right? So we want to be able to help them fix the software, fix the bugs, and have a safer PDF opening experience.
How was it going virtual?
I guess it's easier to do it virtual, but it's more fun to be there in place, when you're there on site.
I'm actually very impressed that everything is so smoothly. There's no network issues, no connectivity issues.
I hope you saw the tweet, custom hockey jerseys for Master of PWN.
Awesome.
You've gotten jackets before. Was there a favorite Master of PWN jacket sort of swag that you go, that one was really great?
All of the jackets are obviously outstanding. One of the ones that stood out was the PWN2OWN in Vancouver last year. We had the full racing suit.
The racing suit, yeah, that was pretty good.
That was amazing.
It was good.
Yeah.
We wanted to be sure to thank everyone who participated in this year's competition. There were definitely obstacles, but everyone was accommodating and worked with us to make PWN2OWN 2020 happen. We wanted to thank the participants for trusting us with their research and allowing us to run each attempt. We wanted to thank vendors like Microsoft, VMware, Apple, Adobe, and Canonical for dialing in throughout the disclosure process. And special thanks go out to our partners Microsoft and Tesla and sponsor VMware for their continued support and assistance before and during the contest.
So what are your first impressions of having the first virtual PWN complete?
I mean, for me, it's a great relief. There was a lot of stress coming into the competition because of all the changes that were going on. And, we sat down before the event and kind of tried to think of all the different variables that we could control to make sure that, we would have researchers, from all around the world, plus vendors, plus the team spread out and all the different, contingency plans we need to put in place to actually make this thing successful. And now we're here at the end of the contest, and everything went really smoothly, and I'm quite proud of the team for everything that they pulled off.
So getting to the contest itself, day one, I know I have my personal favorite bug. What were some highlights of the research demonstrated that y'all will talk about?
I always love JIT vulnerabilities. That's no secret or surprise because I've done a lot of work in that area. I've done presentations, I've found JIT bugs of my own. So the first attempt from day one, the fact that it starts off the whole competition with a JIT vulnerability, I absolutely love that. Especially since JIT bugs are getting harder to find in Safari, and it's glorious.
I personally like the escalations. All three escalations that we demonstrated the first day were pretty good, very solid. The Ubuntu one was surprisingly fast and reliable.
It shows that they really put in a lot of effort into making sure that when they were running that they would actually pop the root shell or the system shell. It's something that especially when we have new contestants like Manfred Paul coming into the contest and showing something so unique and so interesting. I think it really brings light. There's a lot of people out there who would like to be involved in this remote aspect. Allows them to do that.
Then moving into day two, we started off with a bit of drama. We got it on the third attempt for the Oracle VirtualBox. That was cool. And then again, to me, the highlight of the most realistic, you open a PDF, you get totally owned. That was a great bug.
Yeah, that was awesome. And frankly, that's probably one of the best exploits for me specifically from day one and day two. I mean, we haven't been seeing, reader exploits the past couple of years coming through PWN specifically. So this one was kind of nice to have. Plus, it was super reliable.
It's kind of unexpected that bug is there. And the fact that you can go from just a PDF, opening a PDF to kernel level code execution, especially if you were to tie that in with either the VM escapes, that becomes even more impactful.
Okay, so thinking ahead, are we going to stay all virtual, or are we going to end up back in Vancouver next year? Predictions?
My prediction is I hope that we are back in Vancouver next year, that we're past all this stuff. But I think we're going to look at virtual as something that we're going to try to continue to do. I mean, it opens up the playing field a little bit. It allows us to get people who aren't willing to travel or who are unable to travel for visa reasons. This has really allowed us to kind of test those out and figure out what's going on.
I miss being in Vancouver this week, so hopefully we can be back there next year.
For me, I'm just happy that it's over and everything went really, really well. So, a lot of stress going on with all the changes, so it's good that it went well.
That brings PWN 2020 to a close. It's been a great contest. We hope to see you this fall as PWN returns to Tokyo. See you then. Hi, everybody. Welcome back again. Dustin Childs with you with the Zero Day Initiative. So we've had 2 successful attempts. We had Apple Safari this morning, followed by Microsoft Exchange Server. So already we're $300,000 awarded to a couple of great research groups. Next up, we have the researcher known as OV. He will be targeting Microsoft Teams in our new enterprise communications category. On the line here is $200,000 and 20 more Master of Phone points, so we could be at $500 million by about lunchtime, which would be pretty cool. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our team north of the border in Montreal and Toronto. Vincent, Abdul, take it away.
Can you please start the timer? All right. 3, 2, 1, go, Vincent.
Okay. And then intercept. Can they hear me?
We got you.
So
once that timer starts, Vincent starts, we'll have 5 minutes in this attempt.
And I'm going to click on the victim.
Exciting.
That appears to be a calculator. I don't think that calculator was intended to be there. So that does seem like we have a successful demonstration. Here we go. And that is success. So that's great. The same as with the first 2. Now OV and the team will head back to the disclosure room, well, the disclosure call, and go through all the bug details and clearly define what exactly happened in that. Again, if this is confirmed, it will be worth $200,000. Now the good news is I found our budget manager, locked them in quarantine, so they will have no news of this until much, much later. We've got now 20 more attempts to go, and we're potentially $500 million already. It's going to be a great contest. So definitely stick around. We've got more videos, more interviews coming up. Our next attempt will be at 2:30, and that'll be the Vitel team targeting Windows 10 with a local escalation of privilege. So again, 2:30, come back then. I'll see you then. Hello, everyone, and welcome to PWN2OWN Miami for 2020. This is our first year of the event, and we've brought the world's most elite hacking contest to the ICS and SCADA community. We're here at the S4 conference in the Fillmore, here in Miami Beach, Florida. We've seen some amazing research. Let's go take a look. Our day began with the Insight team of Stephen Seeley and Chris Anastasio targeting the Triangle Microworks SCADA data gateway. They were able to get a DOS through a stack-based buffer overflow. They earned themselves $5,000 and 5 points towards Master of Pwn. Next up, the Clarity research crew used a deserialization bug to cause a denial of service in the Iconics Genesis 64. This also earned them $5,000 and 5 points towards Master of Pwn. The Insight team of Stephen Seeley and Chris Anastasio returned, this time attempting a remote code execution against the Rockwell Automation FactoryTalk View SE. They were able to get their code execution to work, however this was only a partial win because the bug had been previously reported. Fabius Artrell made his debut in PWN2OWN, also targeting the Rockwell Automation FactoryTalk View SE. He was also able to demonstrate code execution, however again it was a partial win as the bug had been previously reported. While these partial wins don't count as full wins, they are great research and we hope to see more from both in the future. Tobias Sharnowski, Nicholas Breitfield, and Ali Abbasi were the next to target the Rockwell Automation Factory Talk View SE. They were able to get their code execution working, and it was a full win. They used an out-of-bounds access to gain code execution. This earned them $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. The flashback team of Pedro Ribeiro and Radek Domansky targeted the Iconics Genesis 64 in the control server category. They were able to use 2 bugs to get a system-level remote shell on the target server. This earned them $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. Tobias returned, this time targeting the Iconics Genesis 64. He earned himself another win by using an OOB access bug to get code execution. This earned them another $25,000 and 25 more points towards Master of Pwn. That brings their day 1 total to $50,000 and 50 points in Master of Pwn. Our final entry of the day saw the flashback team of Pedro and Radek return, this time targeting the inductive automation ignition in the control server category. They used an information leak and an unsafe deserialization bug to get code execution on the product. Their final effort for day 1 earns them another $25,000 and 25 more Master of Pwn points. Day 1 wraps up with us awarding $110,000 for 8 bugs and more than 75 points towards Master of Pwn. We saw some great research today, and tomorrow looks like it's going to be even better. Our day 2 began with the Insight team of Stephen Seeley and Chris Anastasio targeting the inductive automation ignition. They were able to get code execution through an information leak and a deserialization bug. This earned them $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. Next up, the team from Clarity Research used an arbitrary DLL loading bug along with a directory traversal bug to get code execution on the Schneider Electric EcoStruxure Operator Terminal Expert. This earned them $20,000 and 20 Master of Pwn points. The flashback team of Pedro Ribeiro and Radek Damjanski were up next. They were targeting the Rockwell Automation Factory TalkView SE in the HMI category. They actually used a multi-bug chain to get their code execution along with continuation on the target. This earned them $25,000 and 25 more Master of Pwn points. Our next competitors were Tobias Sharanovsky, Nicholas Breitfield, and Ali Abbasi, targeting the inductive automation ignition in the control server category. They were able to successfully demonstrate code execution, however the bug they used had been previously reported. This counts as a partial win, but it did earn them 12.5 Master of Pwn points. The crew from the Clarity Research team returned, this time targeting the inductive automation ignition in the control server category. They got their code execution working and quickly, however they also used a bug that had previously been reported. Again, this counts as a partial win and earns them 12.5 Master of Pwn points. The Insight team returned for the afternoon session, this time targeting the Schneider Electric EcoStruxure Operator Terminal Expert. Unfortunately, they could not get their exploit working within the time allotted. Making his Pwn2OWN debut, Ben McBride of Oak Ridge National Laboratory set about targeting an information disclosure bug on the Iconix Genesis 64. Unfortunately, Ben was not able to get his bug working within the allotted time frame. Ben returned to close out day 2 with a successful demonstration against the Rockwell Automation Factory TalkView SE. However, the bug he used had been previously reported. He still earns 12.5 points towards Master of Pwn and demonstrated some great research. We certainly expect great things from him in the future. So that wraps up day 2. We've awarded more than $180,000 total and more than 200 Master of Pwn points. Currently, the flashback team is in the lead with 75 points. Following that, Tobias Sharanovsky, Nicholas Breitfield, and Ali Abbasi have 62.5 points. The Insight team has 42.5 points. The Clarity Research team has 37.5 points. Fabius Artrell and Ben McBride both have 12.5 points. At this point, Master of Pwn is pretty much anyone's game, because we have a lot of demonstrations set for day 3. Be sure to come back tomorrow for the final day of Pwn2OWN Miami for 2020 and see who gets crowned Master of Pwn. Welcome back to Pwn2OWN Miami for 2020. We're entering our 3rd and final day, and we've got a whole slate of amazing research to discover. The day began with quite a bit of drama, as Stephen Seeley and Chris Anastasio of the Insight team took all but 4 seconds off the clock to get their code execution working on the Rockwell Automation Studio 5000. This heart-racing demonstration earned them $20,000 and 20 points towards Master of Pwn, and it certainly had everyone in the room sweating. Next up, the team from Clarity Research targeted a DOS exploit against the Triangle Microworks SCADA data gateway in the DNP3 category. They were able to successfully demonstrate their denial of service. However, the bug had been previously reported. This counts as a partial win and earned them 2.5 Master of Pwn points. In his first Pwn2OWN entry, Michael Stepankin of Veracode targeted the inductive automation ignition in the control server category. He was able to successfully demonstrate his code execution, but his bug had also been previously reported. This partial win did get him 12.5 Master of Pwn points. The Insight team returned, this time with a little bit less drama. They were targeting the OPC Foundation OPC UA.NET standard framework and were able to successfully create a denial of service condition. They earned themselves $5,000 and 5 points towards Master of Pwn. Those 5 points ended up being pretty important down the road. They came right back, this time targeting the Iconix Genesis 64 in the control server category. They used a deserialization bug to get code execution with continuation. That's another $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. That put them in a commanding lead for Master of Pwn with an astonishing 92.5 points in total. Clarity research team also wasn't done. They came back to use a combination of bugs to get code execution with continuation on the Rockwell Automation Factory TalkView SE. This earned them another $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. Next up, Tobias Chernowski, Nicholas Breitfield, and Ali Abbasi came back to target the Triangle Microworks Gated Data Gateway in the DNP3 category. They were successful in getting their code execution with continuation, and this earned them $25,000 and 25 points towards Master of Pwn. That puts their total at 87.5 points. Ben McBride of the Oak Ridge National Laboratory returned to target the inductive automation ignition and the control server category. He was able to demonstrate his code execution, but his bug had previously been reported. He still earns 12.5 points towards Master of Pwn for this partial win. Our final entry of the entire contest was actually a Pwn2OWN newcomer. Lucas Georges of Synactive took the stage to close out the contest by targeting the Rockwell Automation Factory TalkView SE in the HMI category. He was able to demonstrate his code execution, but his bug had been previously reported. He earns 12.5 Master of Pwn points for this partial win. That brings to a close our first ever Pwn2OWN Miami for 2020. Recapping the Master of Pwn points, Lucas Georges, Michael Stepankin, and Fabius Artrell each had 12.5. Ben McBride finished with 25 points. The Clarity Research team had 65 points. The Flashback team of Pedro Ribeiro and Radek Domansky finished with 75 points. In second place, Tobias Chernowski, Nicholas Breitfield, and Ali Abbasi had 87.5 points. And the Master of Pwn winner for the first ever Pwn2OWN Miami goes to the Insight team of Stephen Seeley and Chris Anastasio with 92.5 points. Just 5 points separated the first and second place entries in the Master of Pwn competition. What a contest! Let's hear from the contestants themselves, what they thought about the contest, and some tips for future participants.
First one is don't be afraid. There are a lot of people I know congratulating me for participating, and I know these people very well. I know they're very skilled, some even more skilled than me. And I asked them, why you don't go? And they find all kinds of excuses.
You shouldn't be too afraid of the complexity. Just put in, be persistent, and you will have some emotional roller coasters. We sure had with some of the exploits. We had to get very crafty in some places to actually get it, and I was very close to like dropping one of the exploits, for example. But then I was very happy about having a solution for that.
Always be prepared for bug collisions. If you can have like multiple bugs, definitely try to achieve that.
Don't feel defeated. Just keep trying. You just gotta build it up. You cannot reach here and get Master of Pwn. You gotta build it up slowly.
Don't give up. Definitely read as much of other people's work as you can. I love that ZDI has the blog post for select exploits that they let out. There's always a ton of good info in there.
That brings to a close our first ever Pwn2OWN Miami. It's been an amazing contest full of some amazing research. We want to thank all of the contestants, we want to thank our host, the S4 Conference, and of course we want to thank all the vendors that participated. We'll see you in Canada in March for Pwn2OWN Vancouver.
What if a perfectly patched industrial machine can still harbor unknown vulnerabilities where no one is looking? What if the technology that drives these industrial machines is not limited to automation tasks, but actually allows self-propagating malware to hide in the logic? Industrial programmable machines such as robots are used in many sectors, including automotive, avionics, pharmaceutical, and food production. They are very flexible and can perform many different tasks. Here we see 3 robots in normal operation doing a pick-and-place task. This software is a simulator used to write production automation scripts. These automation scripts are the core of a robot's logic, and are usually written by automation engineers and system integrators. In this demonstration, all the software running on the robots, such as the operating system, is patched and free from any bugs. On top of the traditional software stack, all robots perform their task by continuously running an automation script that listens for commands from the factory network. The script does not perform validation on the received commands because it trusts the data that comes from the factory network. We found cases similar to this script on public code repositories, and of course we reported them. Also, based on the conversations within the most active online communities for automation engineers, it seems that they are not very concerned about the potential security risks in the automation scripts they write. Fortunately, only the first robot on the left is within the reach of a potential attacker on the network. The others are connected only to the first one via a local-only isolated network. Short of vulnerabilities in the regular software stack, the attacker in our demonstration tries to exploit the lack of data validation in the automation script. Now, the first robot is no longer running the original automation script. It's running a modified version that the attacker has uploaded by exploiting the lack of validation. The attacker can now try to interfere with normal operation, for example by injecting code that sends signals at unexpected times. The attacker may also be a bit more creative and make the compromised robot dance. Or they may use the robot to scan the isolated network for other vulnerable targets. And finally send a propagation command to the malware that they have written in this custom language, thus infecting the other robots. These issues do not arise from specific vulnerabilities in the vendor supply software, for which the vendors normally provide timely patches. We analyzed the 8 leading platforms and found out that the root cause of these issues is a bit deeper. The programming platforms offer some security-sensitive features that lead to vulnerabilities and enable the development of custom targeted malware that won't be detected by traditional scanners. Automation scripts are an overlooked attack vector that should be treated and managed like any other regular software. In our paper, we describe the details of our findings and suggest short and long-term mitigations for control process engineers, system integrators, and OEMs.